I'd just like to point out 3 things to you about Bia's talk if you weren't paying close attention. The first is that she knows every line of every one of these videos. I don't know if you noticed that. She's actually able to sort of lip sync along with them. I think the second that we've all learned from this is that everything is slightly better with funk karaoke, and that it's possible that Matt Harding has a dance champion to potentially have a smackdown with at some point later. I'm hoping we can arrange that, perhaps during the break. You can decide which one you want to learn from. We're now, this is sort of our serious, fun, serious sandwich here. Even if our serious isn't necessarily all that serious and sometimes all that fun, but now we're going to move over to Anas qtiesh, who pays really close attention to what's going on in social media throughout the Arab world, the former Arabic editor for Global Voices, but is a passionate Syrian blogger, activist, journalist, and is going to take on the somewhat unlikely topic of not only telling us sort of what's going on with the Syrian revolution, but telling us the weird role that humor has managed to have. And for all those of us watching really difficult, really hard footage coming out of places like Homs, this may be really surprising, but Anas is a surprising sort of guy. So please take it away.
Thank you, Ethan. I guess I'm just going to touch back on one of the things that Jay-Z mentioned earlier, is that governments have their control over how much fear they cast into people. And that's why memes are important. They help break that. And I guess I'm afraid, I'm not sure if this is working.
Yeah, I think just use the space bar.
Okay, yeah.
That's mine, don't do that.
Oh, apologies. So just before we jump in, later on there might be a couple of images that might be a little bit graphic or offensive. I apologize. They're important in their context. I do not endorse any of the images that you might see later. So in Syria, you could not make fun of the president. Any of the things that you see daily on The Daily Show, Colbert, they would not happen. You would be gone in a second. You will not be heard of. So when you see these images, just photoshopped making fun of the president, it helps empower people. It helps give them strength. They dare go out and put themselves out there. They know that they're not alone, that there are other people who are braving and they're returning home safely despite doing what they're doing. In his third speech, Bashar al-Assad said, conspiracies are like germs, which increase every moment. Regime media, president speeches are gold mines for memes, for humor. So after he said that, within minutes, images like these started popping up. Germs everywhere. All the protesters started changing their Twitter avatars, their Facebook photos. They're all identified with the germs. They are all germs. Germs are protesting. This is a photoshopped ID of a germ also. Karabish is one of the most well-known artists. They produce videos, they produce cartoons, and they also jumped on the meme. They created a very fun video. I'll put this online later. You can find the link. Walid Muallim is the foreign minister. He said, we will forget that Europe is on the map. That was shortly after Europe instated harsh sanctions against the regime. Walid Muallim, who we'll see the photo of later, is a bit of a pudgy guy. The joke is that he actually ate Europe. Snoro act. It was stern warning to the rest of the world. Careful or you will be eaten. Now, very recently, some presidential emails leaked. This one was, this is an excerpt of an email from Asma al-Assad, the first lady, sent to her husband. Batta in Arabic means duck. So, and Assad means lion for the matter. It's just all animal last names for some reason. So people immediately also jumped on it. And you saw the duck images everywhere. This one on the right is very elaborate. I loved it. You just have to see it. The one on the left is a photo taken from one actually printed and used in a protest. It says, you know, he was a lion, we turned him into a giraffe because he's tall, he's got a long neck. So one of the jokes when he got in power in 2000 was, now the giraffe is the king of the jungle. Family portrait. The Dark Father. Very nicely done. So beyond just breaking people free from their fear, it also played a role of just mocking or exposing the regime's propaganda. There was all these stories about these armed gangs with, developed weaponry. And people were just going to the streets with fireworks and creating mock weapons and just, this is a guy just with some fireworks and he's rolling around the floor. Also, the regime also tried to create confusion about all this news that's coming online, this Facebook revolution. Regime media started talking about a revolution in Qatar. Qatar because that's where Al Jazeera from, that's where most of the news was coming from on the revolution. They started this whole, there's a revolution in Qatar going on, and some people, oddly enough, fell for it, including one of Al Arabiya editors very recently. So people parodied that. They created the Chinese revolution. This is not a slide from An Zhao's presentation. They created and started mocking of all the regime's propaganda. Everything was turned. Left on the picture on the left says, "We love you." Switched, everything got remastered. Okay, going forward, why stop at just the propaganda? Make fun of the president. This is one of the images I kind of warned you about earlier. I also did not show the Chinese text to anyone, so if there's anything that, Got Hassan Nasrallah, who's a Hezbollah guy, top left. You've got the Mufti of the regime. You've got one of the media spokesperson. They all got mocked in a way. I mean, I guess I should, just to give you this context, this was not, that Chinese Revolution page was not, it could come off as racist, but actually just retelling all and commenting all the events in Syria, but just pretending they're happening in China with Chinese government officials. So that's the whole remastering thing. So at the end, of course, rage faces are international. They're not just a US thing anymore. Also, fair warning. So just to give some background, I won't stay on that image for long, but one of the most commonly heard line by regime supporters is it the freedom you want? When there are, when people are suffering because of sanctions, they come on TV and say, is it the freedom that you want? When an explosion happens in Damascus, is this the freedom you want? And they ignore everything that the regime is committing. All the atrocities of the regime are ignored. So they do not care. And then at the final image, you see a news reporter actually arranging grocery bags around stains of blood in what is believed to be a staged explosion. So the people did not care, the regime supporters did not care about all the atrocities, the documented atrocities, did not care about them at all. And then when they see this staged explosion with the regime, with the reporter from state media actually caught arranging grocery bags around stains of blood just to make the scene look more dramatic, they go, explosions, is this the freedom you want? And then also it wasn't, these memes, they are not always just against the regime. There's also a whole debate for the identity of the revolution. Is it Islamist? Is it secularist? What do people want? So one of these Fridays, there's a theme coming with just giving every Friday a name to help give it context in terms of historical events, what's going on that time. And there was a vote on the Facebook's page for the revolution. And one of the names was proposed by Islamists, say, Armies of Islam save Damascus. And just that upset a lot of people. They sprinted into motion. They changed the vote into a Friday for all Syrians, a revolution for all Syrians, and that was what that Friday was called. And this is basically helped documenting that. You will have history of the Syrian revolution in rage-faced form. This is all I had to show you today. There's a lot, but there's so much time. You could put in, 10 minutes. Thank you for listening. Hope this was fun for you, as much as fun for me making it.
So I just wanted to point out that our friends here are here for the rest of the conference for people who are interested in getting to know these memospheres in a deeper way, possible collaborations, making sure that stuff like this is ending up in Know Your Meme, things along those lines. Also, as I think about it, there's opportunity for all sorts of collaboration. I don't know if Blake Boston is in the audience, but if scumbag Assad doesn't somehow come out of this conference, we have missed an opportunity on some tremendous level. I hope we can work all of this out. If we could just get one more round of applause for our friends around the world. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.